Hey gang, welcome back. I'm Jake, your host. This is Chortle Games. We're playing Pokemon Legends Arceus. I lost internet just a second ago, so yeah, that was fun. But anyway, not a big deal. We're back. We're ready to rock. Let's do this. So it's interesting. I guess it wants me to go to this area first, so I guess that's what we'll do. We're playing Pokemon Legends Arceus. Haven't played in a while, never beat it. We're jumping back in. Apparently I was very close. I feel like we're in the end game right now. The sky turned red. There's a lot of panic in the air. You know what I mean? A lot of panic happening, so... Now, here's the thing. Oh, I did not want to take a capture. Let's do this. Okay, how do I get to that lake? Oh, yeah. Let's do it. I need to fix my chat, too. Apologies, I did not see that. The awkward moment that Jake's internet lost internet and I didn't. Yeah. It's my Wi-Fi. I'm telling you, something. I moved upstairs. Here's the real tea. Here's what really is going on and is driving me bananas. I moved my office / streaming set upstairs in our house, and what that has turned into, well, the original problem with that I didn't realize until I was up here already was that I had a direct Ethernet port. The wind is way louder than me. Okay, well, I brought the music up, and now you tell me the wind's loud. So, I did the internet. I had a direct Ethernet port in, God, my brain. In my downstairs office, I had a direct Ethernet port that I had all of my stuff hooked up to. And so as soon as I got up here, I was like, crap, that's going to be a problem. And I didn't think about that. But then I got up here. I got my Wi-Fi connected up here. I have a booster or whatever. So I connected all that. Next thing I know, and I ran a speed test, and it was faster than speeds that I had gotten downstairs, which kind of makes sense because my main Wi-Fi router is in a closet where it's connected straight into the internet source. Anyway, I digress. All of that to say, it just I don't know. I needed a direct port. And the other thing that's kind of frustrating now that I have this upstairs room set up is there is an Ethernet port on the other side of the room, but it makes no sense to put my computer set up there just to be connected to that cable. And also, like, I don't know how to run that cable across the floor in this room. I'm at a loss. You know what I mean? I'm just at a loss of what to do about it. So I'm gonna figure that out eventually, but we'll see. Let me put y'all's chat back together real quick. Boom. Okay, we're rocking and rolling now. Wait, are those houses all wired up for Ethernet? Yeah, I mean, there's maybe I just know them as Ethernet cables. I may be using incorrect terms here, but the little cable that looks like this, you know, this little guy here. We have set, you know, pretty much, I don't want to say every room, but I think most rooms in our house have an Ethernet port somewhere. And then where my Wi-Fi router is hooked in, there is a nest of Ethernet cables that like go to each different area. And so I have the source of our internet plugged into that router in there, and then the router was plugged into was on a what am I trying to say? the internet feed was going into the router, and then obviously the router is Wi-Fi, so it goes out. But then also there's some outputs on the Wi-Fi router that I had going to other rooms in the house, one being my downstairs office. I don't know which wire I need to do to get it to my upstairs office. And then even if I did know, none of the other cables have the actual like piece to like connect in. The nice gentleman from C-Spire who hooked up my home and got it set up with internet, they had a loose one that they connected to the right cable. But now I don't know what the right cable is, and I don't know how to make that connection. So what I need to do is call somebody and get them in here to come look at this. Speaking of look at this, what the heck is this thing? I don't like it. It looks yucky. It looks yucky. Like, did you have Ethernet in your office at your old house? Joe just wants to know about him. He doesn't need to know my story. Yes, Joe. I'm trying to think if I ever had it working to have a direct port. I'm blanking now. I don't think so, Joe. I might have to... Wow, did he immediately kill my... I did not see what level this guy was. Of course, my Pokemon are not all fully healed here, so we're just we're gonna kind of deal with what we got here. Super effective. Well, let's do that. I don't think I ever figured it out, Joe, to get the Ethernet hooked up there. But you do, I mean, you could do exactly what I'm doing. You know, have your Wi-Fi or a splitter, you know, upstairs and split your main source to do whatever. Did I miss or something? I'm not paying. Lucario turned away. Oh. If I remember correctly, this Lucario doesn't listen to me. There's the phone line behind me, but no Ethernet. You have to make sure. So, Joe, I don't know where your main... Gosh, I'm blanking on where the main internet source is for you. I think, Joe, that it's in the room upstairs that's not your office, in that closet, the closet with the water heater. I'm pretty sure there is where all of your Ethernet ports lead to. And so if you could figure out what connection goes to your office and then what connection is actually feeding your internet, that's what you need to do. But now that I'm telling you that, I'm pretty sure the C-Spire guys, for whatever reason, they set up the box downstairs on the wall that would touch your garage. And I don't think... I'm trying to think. I don't know if you can mess with that one. So I don't know. You may have to play around or ask, but you should be able to figure something out to get it done. All right, Steven said, and this is a big reason why I don't like Pokemon, especially this game. That's not fair. I do like the game. The combat just sucks. I appreciate that they kind of were trying. They just tried to do something different. But I don't know if, Steven, if you were talking about how my Lucario doesn't listen to me. That's just a thing. Man, 52, 58. I was not prepared. All right. Oh, yeah. I didn't mean to run. Oh, I can run now. I mean, let's just try to do a move and see. Listen to me, damn it. Most fights are over in one move. That is also true. See, I wish... It's funny. I used to think I was good at Pokemon because I could end most fights with one move. But then I've actually fought my friend Drew, and he mopped the floor with me. And so I was like, oh, okay. The game's just not they don't have the game set quite right. So I do wish. I think that's something that would be fun in the next game is if you could adjust like difficulty or something. That I think that could be really nice. All right, let's just do what we can here. You know what I mean? We're just gonna try to use the other Pokemon that can listen to me and see if they can get a move or two in. No one is good at Pokemon. All those folks over there at the Pokemon Championship, I'm sure, beg to differ, Steven. All right. Oh, none of those are effective. None of those are effective. So here we go. We're in for a fun fight here. Alright, I'm gonna do Shadow Ball. Yes, those people can suck my Diglett for all I care. Suck my Diglett, he says. Look at how funky my Umbreon looks right now. He is like got this weird stroke effect going on. Crazy. Also, Steven, the way I play Pokemon, I'm not very strategic at Pokemon. Because like there's lots of moves, like this Pokemon just used a move to like make his special attack stronger or something like that. I just pick the moves that are just like super. When I can add a new move, I look at that power, and if I have a move currently that has less power than the new move, I delete it and pick the new move, and I end up with 4 pretty strong moves that should be like one-shot killers, and I pick a random one to one-shot kill whoever I'm fighting. So that's how I play Pokemon, and it's not a great way to play Pokemon. It's not nearly as fun. But when you have fights where like those strategical moves like boost your defense or boost your special attack, like when those kind of fights come into play, I really, those are fun. Those are cool. But I just never find myself in that situation. Alright, so here's what's happening. I'm reviving my Alpha Eevee. I'm hoping that guy can take a punch. I'm gonna heal my Alpha Eevee somehow. Maybe enough to get used. And we'll see how this goes. Steven, this may be a topic for like a podcast, but like I'd love to hear from you as somebody who is not better's maybe not the right word, but well, better probably is also true, but I'd love to hear from you as somebody who plays more tactical games, what you think, how you would improve Pokemon. I'd love to hear from you. Negative on the Ethernet box in the mechanical room. There are boxes for cable and the alarm system down. Okay, all right. Yeah, I don't know, Joe. You may be out of luck because I do think there is some sort of box that's downstairs in your main living room that I am pretty sure is where your C-Spire is connected, but I don't remember. I could have been using strong types, I guess. No. Man, we're just roughing it through this fight here. I have a Leafeon Funko Pop that's coming in tomorrow. I'm very excited. I have an Eevee, a Flareon, a Vaporeon, a Jolteon, a Sylveon, and a Lucario. And they don't have an Umbreon or an Espeon Funko yet that I know of. If I'm wrong, someone please feel free to tell me. But yeah, I'm waiting on those to be made. Man, if Leafeon can somehow just hold through for one more attack, we'll be good, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Yep. Peace. Honestly, just look at games like Monster Hunter Stories and Monster Sanctuary. They have excellent turn-based. Unfortunately, Pokemon has always gone for quantity over quality. That is one thing that I wish Pokemon would do, is worry less about, do they heal on my Pokemon? That's funny. I do wish, now I want to stop for a second. Why am I'm here at the end game, right? I have a level 70 Lucario that's not listening to me. And frankly, I want to know why. Like, what is the deal? Yeah, I wish Pokemon would, like, I don't know if take a year off is the right way to go. Like, I do obviously like it, so I don't want them to take a break. I like getting, new games, more games, but words. I wish they would take the time to really spend time on quality, right, of the games. Because even like, I was talking about how earlier a second ago, like I'm kind of at my wit's end with like Switch game quality, Switch games just not looking their best. I still would say that Breath of the Wild still looks pretty good for the Switch. Like, it's not, it still has those kind of frustrations that I'm kind of talking about, but it's not nearly as bad as some other offenders. So like, if they had time, if they spent the time 6 years, like if they spent 6 or 7 years making a mainline Pokemon game that looked like Breath of the Wild does, like, okay, like that'd be crazy. That'd be really cool. But they don't, and they likely won't. And that's what we have to live with and be cool with. So I found an iron chunk. Aren't I special? Alright, I don't want to use that Lucario because he's being a meanie butt face. Combine the catch 'em all playstyle with an engaging growth and combat system. See, like, Steven, I want to know, because I played Monster Hunter Stories for a little bit, and I'd love to know specifically what you would call out from their systems. And I'm not asking you to do that right now. Like, I'm saying, I really do think this would be a good topic for like a podcast or something, because I just don't, I don't know what specifically they do in that one that makes it so interesting. If you want me to do that right now, I'll hop on Discord. I ain't typing that much. I mean, if you want to come on and do that, like, I think that's an interesting topic, but I'm fine with us saving it. I do think that'd be a really good, like, topic of the show for like a podcast or something, to just talk about here's what we want to see from a Pokemon game to grow. Imagine how cool it would be if Arceus had combat where when you throw out a Pokemon, it turns into a 3D fighter where you're controlling your Pokemon. That would be super cool. That would be super cool. Like, I think that would be cool, but I don't know if they would ever do anything like that, just because kind of one of the core things about Pokemon is you're training up your Pokemon, right? You're raising them, training them to be better. So like, I don't know what I'm trying to say other than just like there it's supposed to be their journey, but I guess you could still say that. Like, you could still say, like, I've trained this Pokemon, and then play as the Pokemon, and that would be cool. It would be super fun. I don't know how, especially now. Like, I don't know that they would ever do that now. Because, like I said, we're getting to almost 1,000 Pokemon. And something like that, you'd have to do really different animations for everything. And they've never done that. You know what I mean? It would make, oh, I get it. It would make millions. But you know, Steven, they did the Pokken tournament. I guess that's kind of successful. It's still at like Evo and stuff, so you can still still train and raise them, increase their speed, movement, and whatever. But with that, you'd actually be able to feel the differences. Yeah. No, I mean, I think it would be very successful. No doubt. I just you know, I don't think I wish they would spend that much time to make that, but as many Pokemon as there are, and as many people who, you know, want every Pokemon in the game. Like, as much as Sword and Shield got shit for not having every Pokemon, you know what I mean? But Pokemon was a fighter first, not a Pokemon game. Yep, you're right. You're right. I mean, I totally see how they could do it, right? Like, they could they could really narrow down, which I guess, I mean, even this game, like, they did that for this game. They narrowed down how many Pokemon were in the game, and, you know, if they really focused on it, that could be a lot of fun. I think that would be cool. I think the issue with Sword and Shield not having a full dex was more so an issue because of that, in addition to how little the game actually changed. Yeah, I think that was a compounding factor for sure. And see, like, they haven't even talked about that for Scarlet Violet, right? That's true, Steven. You bring up a really good point there. I think, honestly, Sword and Shield may be the only one that will ever get Dex flack, because I think they've set that precedent now. Like, it hasn't been confirmed yet, but they're absolutely gonna my brain, y'all, I cannot think and talk. I literally have no idea what I was saying. Something about Pokemon. Oh my god. I'm just the dumbest person ever that exists on planet Earth. Cool, I caught an Eevee, everybody. It's level 3. Aren't we excited? Aren't we happy? They've set that precedent for less deck, and I don't think they'll ever get quite as much slack or flack as they did that first time, for sure. At the end of the day, Game Freak won't change as long as they don't have to. Yep, you right. And I get that. I really do. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like people eat it up, but people still. I mean, and again, this is to your point. Like, okay, so they basically what I was gonna say was, yes, people eat it up, but people do talk about how I'm gonna buy it, but, you know, I wish they'd do something to make it better, or You know, I'm going to buy it, but, you know, I wish this was a certain way. And, you know, that's still the excuse of, okay, well, why would they change? Because we're still going to buy it. We just told them we're going to buy it, you know? So, I don't know. I wish they would just make that time and take that effort. But anyway, I ended up in a double battle somehow, so that's fun. I'm trying to train up a little bit. This game, one interesting thing with the with how you catch Pokemon so easily in this game, you just throw the Pokeball or whatever. Part of that is I'm very rarely in battles, which I guess you do get. I guess you get experience for catching too. I didn't think about that. Kind of forgot about that. I almost feel like that would be harder to do at this point than just go fight a bunch of people and all that jazz. Ouch. Why? Why did you hurt me? I don't like it. Right. I bought Arceus and I don't regret it because it was exciting and new. As of now, I will not be buying the new one because it just seems like regular Pokemon game. I mean, you get new Pokemon, you get the whole crystallization, terralization thing. Not super excited about that. Honestly, for me, the reason to get the new one is new Pokemon, new region, new story. But again, I mean, still, I do wish that quality would go up and would change. I could go play Fortnite and get a new skin. Doesn't make it content. I get it. I get that. I get that too. I'm just trying to level my people up here. Why you gotta kill my guy? Why you gotta kill my guy over here? Gah. Why you gotta kill my guy? Why you gotta kill my man over here? He's just over here trying to live an average life. I feel like the new Fortnite skin is a touch aggressive of a comparison, but like I'll give you like it's essentially a battle pass, you know, something like that. It's like being charged for a battle pass for the new Pokemon. But I can understand that perspective for sure. What at this point, Steven, what would it take for you to pick up the new one? How many Pokemon are there now? So right now, Joe, it's like 900, I think. Something like that. Oh, shoot. What the fudge? We got 2 freaking alphas just done showed up. I need to throw out a berry. That's what I need to do too. There's about 900. It's rumored that this one has 140 additions, which is kind of crazy because we haven't had that many new additions in a generation for a while. So that'd be crazy. But it's rumored that we're gonna hit 1,000 Pokemon this we're gonna hit 1,000 Pokemon this generation, so we'll see. We'll find out. They did announce Fido. What makes that Pokemon different from one of the same type? That's true. It's true, Steven. It's cute though. And its name is Fido. Lucario. I get it. You're a bitch and you don't want to listen to me, but I really wish you would. So it's a cosmetic change only, aka it's Fortnite skin. I know, but it's not just one Fortnite skin. You know what I mean? That's the difference to me. But I digress. I'm just gonna run away. I am sorry, Mr. Alakazam, for trying to pick a fight with you right now. I'll say this too, Steven. Part of the reason why I wanted to play Pokemon Let's Go Eevee was because that game has the best Eevee. I love my Eevee in that one. Not that I don't love my Eevee in this one, but that one is special, okay? I don't need any other Pokemon but him in that game. I digress. One thing they did show that I am excited about is supposedly, well, it looked like in the trailer that we're gonna have Pokemon that follow us around, like partner Pokemon that can wander, and I really hope that ends up being the case and it wasn't just some weird like angle that they picked or whatever. Oh, that's right. I have to have a Pokemon attack that. Check. You asked me what I think Pokemon should do, right? Or like what it would take for me to be interested. Well, that was kind of a topic I was suggesting for like an episode, a podcast episode. Is like, let's just talk about like what we wish Pokemon would change, and then I was just asking you, since you had mentioned like, you know, at this point I'm not buying the new one. I was just curious if there was something that would take you to the point where you would buy it. Oh, that Apom ran. Yeah. Ouch, why'd you use Swift? Did it sound like a horse in that sound effect to anybody else? Make a sequel to Arceus. I only say sequel to it so you can set it far back in time. Center the game around trainers learning to battle each other, kind of like this one was about catching. Okay, all right, I like that. I like the premise. Documenting Pokemon, make the sequel about the shift towards battle rather than exploration. I think you could kind of do both still, right? Like, I think you could keep the system of battle, of capturing and researching and all that, but then just add in the basically like, let's go to a different region, but back in time, but maybe not quite as back in time, and then showcase. So you know, focus on. Oh man, I just about died somehow. Focus on, so back in time, just a few years past where we are right now, and showcase people deciding that, oh hey, we're living with Pokemon, let's battle, let's do, so like kind of the first gyms. Like, I like that. That's a cool concept. Yeah, I think that could be really cool. Yeah, I like the idea. I think that could be really cool. I think it could be really cool. Just poll the biggest markets for their 150 favorite. See, I think probably what, like, that's a great suggestion, and I wish that's what they would do. and I only say that because I know Eevee is in that. What I was gonna say is that what I think would be more realistic for them to do is say, hey, we're going to X region, and so only Pokemon like that were originally from that region are going to be there, but then we're going to throw in like maybe 50 fan favorites or something like that, you know, to keep it small, but who knows. I'm just trying to level up people, you know what I mean? Make the game a service title with new Pokemon coming as paid expansion. Make it a service title. Okay, so you're still saying pay for the game up front, but then make it a service title, so that'll be paid expansions and stuff. See, that's another thing. Like, I feel like Nintendo is so slow to catch up to that. Like, Sword and Shield, instead of having, hey, here's the game re-released again. Here's they did DLC for Sword and Shield, which was at the time kind of unusual. Like, usually you would just see you would get a whole shining brilliant diamond, shining pearl, or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe they'll eventually move up to that, but man, losing my edge. Dang old Alpha pissed me off. Made me mad. There's probably a way to drop down slowly. I don't remember what it was. If they put effort in the Pokemon and made the gameplay active like that, they could easily charge. Yeah. You right. And then people could pick which Pokemon they wanted in the game. You know, that's a way to do it. I was gonna say something else about that, and I'm just blanking. I don't know where my head's at right now. I don't know. The average player would probably buy 2 packs, so that's 90 right there. Yep. Oh, I know what it was. The other thing that and maybe this is me making excuses for Game Freak, but I always forget how small the team at Game Freak is. Like, they're not huge. They don't have just a ton of people on their team. So I often forget that. And that's part of why everything's so standardized, maybe is a good way to say it, of just like, or cut and paste, right? Is because they're such a small team, and, you know, they want to move quickly. Oh, that's an Alpha Gyarados. No wonder I hit that thing and he immediately clapped me. Let's try this now. Let's see how we go. Excessively formulaic and copy paste. Thank you. I don't know their number, but it's a much smaller team. It's, from what last I heard and from what I understand, it's like the size of what typically would be like an indie team, like an indie developer. But they make the Pokemon games, you know what I mean? So like they should have a much larger team for not necessarily even as big of a game as they make, but just the you know what I mean? Yeah, 169. See, that's not crazy. Not a ton. Hello. Okay, one other thing I was going to look at is I don't know how. I see. I had points. I wonder maybe what we should be doing instead of just randomly fighting Pokemon. Did not mean to make a capture there. Maybe I should go. Let's go heal up here. Then let's try and heal. Let's heal. Then let's try to go solve a mission. Just some like bonus objective that I have. Oh, those are Poké. Alright, I only see this guy. So, alright, let's fly back over there. Let's see if we can complete that guy's objective. They are still far under the big end AAA developer size. Yeah. I'm surprised that after, 30-year Pokemon games, that they are only that big. I know, that's my thing too. I don't know why they haven't. And that's I mean, again, thinking about that, the whole 30-year thing, Joe, like, each game, hear me out, Steven, each game has gotten bigger, right? Because they're adding more Pokemon. And granted, the Pokemon have always been templatized, right? Where, like, their animation is one thing, and not only that, but, like, we've gone from pixel to 3D to whatever. I don't know why they haven't grown their team. It's crazy. I've seen enough amazing work done by teams of less than 10 that still don't consider their size an excuse. Just expand if you need to. You have the money. But they probably run a low overhead so they can make more money because they don't have to try. Yeah. No, and I agree. You're absolutely right. I've seen smaller teams do more, But what I'm saying is the Pokemon game. Honestly, what it is the sheer amount of Pokemon that they've created. Honestly, I would imagine is such a bottleneck for everything for them. You know what I mean? Just because, we want to do unique animations for the Pokemon. Great, yeah, let's do that. How much time is that going to take per Pokemon? It's probably going to take 100 hours to like really get it right. Like, okay, cool. How many Pokemon do we have? 1,000. What? And then you talk about like we're going to do different ones for each game. Like, I don't know. That's where I think it gets sticky and why they just haven't really solved for the problem. I wish they would, but I disagree. They are adding and subtracting at the same time. So the only time that Pokemon gets bigger is when it jumps a console gen. But Steven, that's what I'm saying is like up until Sword, I am 95% sure about this. Sword cutting back the decks was such a big deal because they've never done that before. And they even admitted part of the reason was they can't keep up with all the Pokemon and all of like the asset updating they have to do for each Pokemon. Like they talked about that. Didn't Eevee and Pikachu come for... Wait. Didn't... What do you mean? Like that was the first game on the system? Pikachu and Eevee were both in Gen 1. They're in the original 150. If you're talking about like Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, that I believe those also were the first ones on the Switch. Yes, yeah, it did. It did come before both of those. So. Hey. What's up, girl? What you doing? Cleaning? This man need a Pokemon to cut grass. Let's see. I don't actually, off the top of my head, know if I can access my... Oh, cool, I can. Great. Let's see. He wants a Scyther. I had two that I noticed earlier. There. Same. Tomato. I'm gonna trade it out for my stupid Lucario. You know, I wonder if I shouldn't bring my Rapidash. It's only on level 40? Dang. Man, I'm coming up short, y'all. I never mean to do that. Okay, go for it. So, Steven, I would say that now they are adding and subtracting. What you got? What you need? I would say that now, yes, they're adding and subtracting. But I think they're doing that because they're adding and subtracting content instead of upping their team. And honestly, I personally, this should come as no surprise to anybody, but I personally am totally cool with them adding and subtracting content. Again, I am probably the biggest proponent of regional variants as anybody, which regional variants probably only help so much, but I'm totally cool with them not making as many new Pokemon. Well, I'm cool with several things. Number one, I'm cool with not making as many new Pokemon, doing regional variants of things, and then, God, my brain, and then cutting certain Pokemon. Like, I'd rather not have all the Pokemon, but maybe have the regional variants, some new regional variants, maybe a couple new Pokemon, and then keep some sort of rotation of like popular Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like, and honestly, as long as Eevee's there, like, I don't care. Like, even Lucario, like, my de facto team is a team of Eevees and a Lucario. Like, that's just how I'm going to want to play. And usually what happens is it takes me a while to find them, and I fall in love with some new Pokemon that they have. So I don't know. I wish there weren't. How many were in Sun and Moon? I don't know. I don't know that off the top of my head, but I don't think they cut any. That's the thing. According to what I'm looking at, it's 300, but that's way too low. Yeah, that seemed way too low. But I mean, I could be wrong, Steven. I am pretty sure that was the reason there was such a Dex flack, as we're calling it. Thank you. For a second, I was like, why are you handing that to me and not the trash? Yeah, I don't know. $3.95, really? That's crazy. That seems super low. So how many were in Sword and Shield? Because I didn't think it was that. Like, that's a pretty significant drop off. Like, I that sounds crazy to me. So, man, one day I'll remember how the switch buttons work, and can do buttons. God, I'm gonna have so many freaking things. Apparently had 400. Interesting. Steven, look up how many Pokemon are there, because I swear there's like 800 or 900 now in total. Lialson says at least. So Sword and Shield had 400. Now I'm wondering why people had such a we're so upset. Ah. Okay. 905. Did it come before Sword and Shield? Did what come before Sword and Shield? The flak? I'm pretty sure that was for Sword and Shield. Yeah. Sun and Moon came before Sword and Shield. When Sword and Shield was announced to not have a full dex, something's off, because maybe my timeline's messed up too, because that doesn't make any sense that there were almost 800 Pokemon as of Sun and Moon, yet Sun and Moon only had 395. Because if that's the case, why did people freak out about that for Sword and Shield? You know what I mean? So maybe. So here's where I'm at. See, Sun and Moon was the first. Actually, I think I bought a 3DS or whatever it was to use that, to play that. But I don't remember, which I probably wasn't as in tune with stuff going on in 2016. Can I help you? I'm the trash man. I get in the ring and I throw the trash everywhere. I think this sound wall is going to fall behind me. Give me a second here. Say again? No, it's good. I just wanted to make sure there was a fold so that it wouldn't fall. I am a fold. Okay. The 395 from Sun and Moon was catchable Pokemon. That did not include Pokemon to be traded from the previous games. Sword and Shield was 400, but that was a flat number. Got it. What up, Ro/Courtney/Lily? Because it jumped to a new console gen. Okay. There you go. It all comes out. Yes, we're still live. Sorry. We were live, then we went down, and then we came back in. So we're back now. Lily. And Arceus had 242. That's interesting. So, okay, but that makes sense though for Sun and Moon, because people could bring in from their home, or they could. I think that's what it was called. The system was called Pokemon Home. They could bring their Pokemon in from that, and have any Pokemon they'd like. Curious to see what Scarlet and Violet's situation is going to be, because part of their reasoning, Steven, with that flat 400 like I said, was that they Game Freak was like, we can't, we're not going to be able to make that many new assets before the next game, or by the time this game has to release. And so they cut it off. They limited it, right? So if they limit it again with Scarlet Violet, that's going to be interesting. And if they do limit it again, what is that limit? Is it going to be less? Is it going to be more? Why do you call bullcrap on that though, Steven? I don't understand. Because I mean, here's the thing, Steven. Like, they could have hired more people to make it happen. I would completely agree. But the fact is, I don't think they had 3 years between game launches. If they wanted to, they could have doubled that number. The models between 3DS and Switch weren't too different. See, yes, they weren't too different, but you have such a small team and literally almost 1,000 Pokemon to deal with. And so while I'm with you and I agree that yes, it should have been able to be done, it should have. I mean, it isn't that small, Steven, but it's a good team size, but it's still a small team. And I don't know. I just, with creating, here's the thing, right? Like, they're making new Pokemon, which requires, design and what is this Pokemon gonna do? What's this Pokemon gonna do differently? I don't know. I maybe I'm making excuses for them, but that's what they made a public statement and said, and I don't see why they would say that. I don't see why you'd say, I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. They also did a re-release of Sun and Moon on Switch, so they did 3 games in 3 years. Is Sun and Moon on Switch? They did Shining Sun and Brilliant Moon, or whatever the heck it was, but I thought that still released on 3DS, not. They have done Brilliant Ultra Diamond or whatever and Ultra Pearl. That just released on Switch recently. I think it released with Arceus, which would have been this year. But yeah, that's what I was talking about too earlier, was that they used to not do DLC. They used to just re-release the game with essentially the bonuses that a DLC would be. I know I'm cynical, but to me, it's just more testing of the consumer's water. They release a game with a partial dex to see if they can get away with it, and even though they got flack, they did get away with it. Why can't the banana find its peely? Because it saw the salad dressing. We'll find out. We'll find out when Lule gives us the answer. I caught that like at the last second. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right, Steven. I honestly, what I would think realistically happened is that they said they looked at what they had to do as a team, and they said, "Oof, I don't know if we can meet. I don't know if we can hit this goal with this deadline." Bro gave me back my Scyther. I didn't realize I still had this Scyther. Can I leave? Can I leave the fight? I'm done. This fight is not going to work. I bet they looked at it, said, hey, we probably aren't going to be able to meet this goal without increasing our team. And they said, well, we're not going to increase the team. We got to meet this deadline. So maybe just don't do all the Pokemon. You know what I mean? And you're probably right, Steven. They probably said, let's just see. Like, you know, let's see what they do. And kind of funnily enough, it's like, are they going to riot? They did. Well, but they still bought it. You know what I mean? They rioted, but they bought it. So what did it matter in the end? So I don't know. We'll see how it all develops, because it slipped on the banana peely. Why can't the banana find its peely? Because it slipped on the banana peely. Here's my question to that, though. If the console jump was too much for their team, why didn't they go ask for extra resources or back up the team? That's what I'm saying. I think they probably sat down and said, hey, we need help to turn over all of these assets in time, without either getting more, like hiring more, finding, you know, external whatever. And I imagine they said, well, we can't move, you know, we don't want to move our deadline, we don't want to get more people, so let's cut what we're turning over, you know. So I don't know, but that, I mean, I'm not saying that that's a better like outcome, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't think they looked at it and were like, we could probably do it, but nah, let's just not, you know. Let's not do it. Let's just see how they react. You know, I think the problem really happened and really became apparent. And, you know, the solutions: get more help, delay, or just cut content. They went for cut. They went for cut content. Darcy's just in here. Okay, that's fine. Is that closet blocked? Because she'll open it and climb in. Like, can you put this trash can in front of the door? Like, in between? Okay, that works, yeah. Where did you get that emoji from, Steven? But that they didn't get help. And there's no way in heck they wouldn't be able to get... Okay, thank you. Love you. If they called for it, that's irresponsible. Oh yeah, I'm agreeing, Steven. I'm agreeing with you there on it. It was irresponsible and selfish to do it that way. But I don't think it was just let's just cut content. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm kind of trying. What are you saying, Leelson? Oh, okay. What up, Akib? Welcome to the party. I really should just quit this fight. I'm not prepared in any way. Yeah, but Steven, you were saying, I don't know, it seemed like the way you said it originally was that they didn't really address the problem and instead just decided, like, when the first time you said it, of just like they were testing the waters to see what consumers would do, it almost seemed like it was from them, it was coming from a point of laziness, like, we don't want to do this many things. Whereas I think the origin probably was from a real problem, which is that being we don't have enough team or we don't have enough time. And then they went with the choice that they did. But either way, the result is scummy. I think the context of why they were scummy is somewhat important. But maybe not. All I know is I'm mad, and I walked into this fight I'm not actually prepared, and I wish it would just keep doing that move over and over so I can actually get a hit in. Middle tank uses rollout. I don't think I can hit run. I think I tried that earlier. Yeah, that is what I'm saying. They had a choice to expand the team, deliver a better product, or not to up the ante. And I think they knew the risk of pushback, but they did it anyway. So they were knowingly testing the waters. Yes. Yes. Joe, I don't think I played gold or silver. So I had yellow, the original, Pokemon yellow. I didn't even play red or blue. I had yellow. And then I didn't play another Pokemon game until X and Y. But even then, I bought the 3DS for Sun and Moon. In the meantime, while I waited, I played X and Y. And really enjoyed that. And then obviously enjoyed Sun and Moon. And then I did Sword and Shield. And obviously I've done some other, some of their iterational things I've played in between. But yeah, I had a weird break in my Pokemon experience. This is Lily, 8-year-old. I love that. That's when I learned that life wouldn't be fair when I fought that milk tank. That's funny. Gen 2 is peak Pokemon. I will not be proven wrong. That's Johto, right? Is that the one? Yeah, Silver Mountain, right? So Steven and Joe, I don't know if y'all watched any of the Pokemon Presents that just happened. If you've seen some of, you may have even seen other people's reactions to it. I didn't include this in ours just because I didn't have quite the right reaction, but there's a shot where they show in like updated graphics a player character running up Silver Mountain to where Red is standing at the top, and from what I know of that game, that's like an iconic moment because you get to fight Red. You get to fight Red from the first game. Like, whoa, this is gonna be crazy. Like, what a cool connection between the two games. But anyway, it shows you running up that hill. It turns. You see Red. He does like his hat thing, and then it cuts to a Pokemon Masters, which is the mobile game logo. And I had a decent reaction because I was just like, ugh, it's the mobile game. Like, I thought they were leading towards like, oh, Red is going to be in Scarlet and Violet, or I've seen a lot of other people have the reaction of, oh my God, we're getting a Let's Go Johto. Kind of the same treatment as the Kanto region got with Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Which, like, honestly, now watching it back, that would have been a freaking announcement, right? Like, that would have been amazing. But they didn't do that. That was not what it was. It was just Masters, and it wasn't even Red related. Like what they had to say about Masters. So that was a big disappointment. I do hope we get like I would love if they kept the Let's Go thing, pushing on to like other like much older generations, and like even when they did Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, or whatever it was that just happened, why not no more Let's Go? Let's Go was great. Look, I really liked Let's Go because it kept a lot of really cool like quality of life things that Pokemon players have liked. Like, I love the partner Pokemon system where you can dress your Pokemon, your partner Pokemon. Your partner Pokemon is always on your shoulder, but then you can also have like an accompanying thing, you know? Okay, I'm sorry, Lily. Did I miss the jokey? Please give me the jokey, Lily. I think it could be fun as a regular thing. The Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl thing that they did, where it's like the weird chibi 3D. Like I don't like that. I don't like that. Your emotion. Share them with me. Okay. Gotta get the terms right, Akib. Gotta get them right. I am now terrified of Lily. Courtney's chiming in to explain that Lily has us trained to call jokes jokey or jokies. And thus they are. What did you feel when you mingled with the clans? I really hope there's not like an importance to these choices, because I'm half paying attention and then also like I don't remember any details from this game from when I was playing it earlier this year. Getting a piece of that red rope, y'all. My character's way too excited. Me Spirit's Plume. Okay. Proof that you had completed the trial. Okay, cool. Why did Eve go in the meadow to catch Pokemons? That's a good one. That's a good one, Lily. That's a really good one. Did Let's Go and Sword and Shield run off the same assets? That is a great question, Steven. I'm pretty sure it's a no. But I don't know. The Pokemon look different from it. Like the Pokemon in Let's Go look different than the Pokemon in Sword and Shield. But animations and stuff, I would say, yeah, it's the same. But the animations have been the same since Sun and Moon even. Like the way an Eevee attacks or reacts cheerfully, like, you know, jumping around, whatever, like those animations have pretty much been set in stone. It's just the art style that's being updated constantly. So, but I don't know. That's a great question, Steven. I would off just memory and a glance, I would say that they're different. But I would say even the Pokemon in this game look different than the Pokemon in Sword and Shield. If Let's Go is a visual and asset equivalent to SS, why does SS not have all Gen 1 Pokemon that Let's Go has? Now, Steven, now that's a question. Does it? Does it have all of the Gen 1? Because I'm pretty sure it doesn't, but I don't know that for sure. It really might have all of them. but I don't know. But again, I wouldn't say they were a visual and asset equivalent. I kind of, from memory, I think that Let's Go, kind of part of the reason I wanted to play Let's Go tonight was this is a Eevee hat, Akib, but thank you. I love it. I'm a big Eevee fan. I have lots of Eevee stuff. So I believe that is right. Steven, you're right. About the Gen 1 Charizard being the only one. Yeah, I don't know, Steven. I would say that they're different assets. But I don't know. Because all of it's so similar. I know kind of the point you're driving at, Steven, of like, they look like they look very similar, but I don't know. And it may be, Steven, that how they update their assets is just like a bad system. You know what I mean? Like, there may be a much easier way for them to update Pokemon assets well that either they can't do without like completely overhauling the system or something. I don't know. I'm not as much of I'm not a developer either, so I really don't know what any of that looks like. Before we end this stream, I'm going to boot up Let's Go. Just to kind of look at kind of what that looks like. Because in my memory, Let's Go, I would argue, looks better than even this does. But I don't know for sure because it's been a hot minute since I played Let's Go. But it is a very different art style too, I would say. So I don't know. All that to say, if we're to assume that games that launched native on the Switch have made the asset jump, which is what they said is why they couldn't do it. Yeah. Yes. No, I'm tracking with you. If we assume that, then yes, they outright lied, right? Because they should have had those in SS. Yeah. If that's true, Again, I don't know that it is, but you're 100% right. If it what am I trying to say? If they did, like you're suggesting, then yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So, all right, I'm gonna move my Rapidash into the party. I just want to remind everybody how freaking big this Rapidash is. Look at this son of a bitch. He's so fucking big. So, oh, sorry, Lily. So sorry, Lily. Courtney, I'm so sorry. I got real excited. Lily, look at the pretty unicorn. It is a totally worth posing question. And, Steven, what I am saying now is that we need to plan for this to be the topic of the next podcast. And we need to do some research, find some things out, and that can be part of our topic of conversation because I think this is all very interesting to think about. I think we're officially heading to bed, everyone. Bye, Evie Jake. Good night, Lily. Good night, Courtney. If you don't come back, thanks for tuning in. Let's see. We're headed. Oh my gosh, we gotta go all the way to the other end. Why is this bear taking a poop? Skadoosh. I remember when I first got this bird, I was like, oh, cool, I can fly. You can't fly. You just glide. You're slowly gliding. It doesn't feel like you're gliding, though. You know what I mean? It feels like you get a pretty good boost there. Ooh, Lord. Courtney, go get some sleep, girl. Go get some sleep. We'll catch you next time. Don't even sweat it. Ah! It's so big. Why can't I jump? Let's go use the 3D models. It did. It did have 3D models, yes. Oh, 3DS. Gotcha. Sorry, that was confusing. Well, so there's your answer right there. It didn't use new assets to make that happen. So there you go. Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, again, to your point, Steven, I could understand the confusion, because aside from some art style choices, you could argue that like there's been very minute updates and changes as we've gone on. You know what I mean? And I think most significantly going from 3DS to Switch, that's where you could argue. And I don't even think it's a you could argue. I think it is pretty clear that the graphics improved from, the 3DS. They're still not up to par with, anything else on the market, but I could see where that's at. I mean, I could understand your mixing of the two, thinking the two are the same, because they're not changing a ton. So I'm surprised this Pokemon wasn't more of a story beat, and maybe I just forgot about this story beat, but I feel like this Pokemon should have shown up before now. I'm just saying, with how small the changes have been, 3 years should have yielded way more notice than I did. No, I agree. I mean, I totally agree with you, Steven, that they should. I mean, it's kind of like what we were just saying. It's like either grow your team or take the time, and they just have refused to do either of those things, which has led us to where we're at. I mean, kind of like Joe was saying a minute ago, and he wasn't saying this specifically, but like, here we are. We had Sword and Shield 2019, I think is what it was. Here we are in 2022, about to get a new Pokemon game. Have we only had... Now here's something I haven't thought about, because this really throws a wrinkle in it. We had Sword and Shield, right? I feel like I'm missing something. But we've gotten Legends Arceus. I am missing something. We had the Brilliant Diamond, Shining Ruby, whatever those were, that came to the Switch. That were the Chibi games. And then we had Legends Arceus. Both of those are in between Sword and Shield and Scarlet Violet, which is about to come out. So in the 3 years' time, while I'm sure A-Team has been working on it for 3 years, not all 169 of those people, right? On top of, and somebody please look this up for me, who is making Pokemon Unite? Because if it's Game Freak, that's a big cut, because they're putting effort into that game for sure, and like they're even bringing it to that Pokemon Champions thing in the presents. They said they're doing their first Unite Championship, like esport championship thing. Not to mention Pokemon Cafe Remix, not to mention Pokemon Go, which I don't think Game Freak has that much to do with Pokemon Go, but right, but just grow your damn team if you insist pushing all these different games. No, Steven, I'm right there with you. They should totally expand, or they should either grow the team or take more time in between these big ones. But instead, what's happening, because Unite has an active combat, so they've proved they can do something like that. Yes, yeah. No, you're totally right. Look that up for me, Steven. Like who is developing Pokemon Unite? Because I really do think like that's a ticket. Like that's an item, because they add new Pokemon to that pretty frequently. Like, I don't know off the top of my head how many Pokemon they have in that right now, but it's not a small number, you know. Like, it's they've got a decent amount in there. So that would be a huge contender. And then, like I said, yo, is this dude just leaving? Game Freak did not make it. Okay, cool. Well, there you go. There you have it. So it's probably realistically then just those other two, the Brilliant Diamond and this game. But oh, why can you move twice? That's silly. Timmy Studio did it. They are a subsidiary of Tencent. That makes even more sense, right? Man. Interesting. All right, Steven just said, get a load of this. So here we go. What did you got? What you got for me, Steven? Steven, we should have had you just join the Discord. We're getting into all kind of tea here. For the record, I did invite you to join in the Discord on the front end before I even went live. I said you could if you wanted. Game Freak did not make the chibi game that I'm referring to. The Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, whatever came out at the same time as this. Wow. Game Freak made this, right? Like, did they? Because that's crazy. Yeah. Interesting, Steven. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Since 2016, these are the Pokemon games they've made. Okay. Sun and Moon, yep. Let's Go, yep. Sword and Shield, Arceus. Gotcha. Are you just kind of lumping Sun and Moon and then like whatever the Brilliant Sun and Moon like re-release, like are you kind of lumping those together? The only reason I ask is I'm just kind of curious where in that timeline that you've just presented that falls. I obviously it's either in the same spot as Sun and Moon or it's after Let's Go, so I'm just kind of curious where they did both, but they're the same thing. Ultra dropped a year later. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's what I thought. So yeah, that's interesting. And so really, Asset new asset development wouldn't have started until Sword and Shield. So, I don't know. Here again, I think a lot of it is going to depend on what they say for that question with Violet, right? Oh, can you repeat that? This is a real question. Combee, Zubat, unknown, magnet. Okay. How many are there eyes? Tell me each, one by one, yet all at once. Answer me. Okay. 1. SS was developed in under 2 years. Yeah. See, and I think ultimately that's the problem. I think they have enough. I think they, like we've said, they have a decent team size. You know, it's nothing huge, but it's not, I mean, as you've kind of pointed out, Steven, it's not a huge team, but it's a decent sized team. And so they just need to spend more time. You know, they need to spend 6 years in development only working on the next Pokemon game, like the next mainline game. You know what I mean? I just don't think they're going to want to sit silent for that long. You know what I mean? All right, I'm apparently going to have to write down the answer to this knowledge test. Combee. Okay, that's 2. Zubats have 0. Unknowns have 1. Magneton, I'm pretty sure just has 1. Dusclops has 1. How many are there eyes? I have to tell you each. Okay. So I'm pretty sure it's 2. 0. 1, 1, 1. I'm wondering if Magnetons have 2. Let's try that. Answer me true if you would. Okay, I would love to. I just don't know. I'm not smart. Combee. Let's look up a picture of Combee here, ladies and gentlemen. Combee, Combee, Combee. Combee. Oh, wow. I was way off. Combee have 6 eyes. Okay. What's the next one? Zubat? Zubat. Have no eyes. So 0. You know what? Yeah, unknown. Yeah, they have 1 eye. Okay, I wasn't wrong there. Magneton. Let's see. They have 3 eyes, so I was messing up there. So we had 6, 0, 1, 3, and then Dusclops, I'm almost positive has 1. Yes, okay, here we go. Sorry, Steven, I know you're putting in chats. I have to actually think on this question, so give me a second, and I will do this. So it was 6, 0, 1, 3, 1. Okay. Game Freak is currently in the same building as the Nintendo EPD Tokyo, Nintendo PTD Tokyo, HAL, and 1UP Studios. As of 2020, they have 0 excuse to not have proper dev help. But that was as of 2020, so maybe that shared office space will show with the new one. So, okay, I'm sorry. What? So are you suggesting that those other studios would help? Could collaborate? Is that kind of what you're saying? Because I feel like those studios are probably working on their own thing. You know what I mean? But I don't know. That's what I was kind of... there was a podcast I was listening to today that was just kind of like, what is Nintendo working on? Like, we don't know what a lot of their teams are doing right now. So we really need a Nintendo Direct to let us know all of that. I'm suggesting that since Pokemon is so important to Nintendo's bottom line, they would send them the help they need. So here's where I'm at, Steven, though. Maybe I'm confused. Does Nintendo own Pokemon? Or are they just partners? Like, do they just have an exclusive partnership? They own it. Okay. I always get confused where that line is drawn, right, with the Pokemon Company. Okay, they own the game distribution. But see, I think... I don't know, man. I don't know. You saying, you know, since Pokemon is so important to Nintendo's bottom line, is a 30% owner of Pokemon. Yeah, okay. Do you think it's that important to Nintendo's bottom line? Like, I'm not fully disagreeing with you, but I don't know. I feel like they kind of I kind of feel like they let Pokemon Company do whatever they do and just reap the benefits. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy there, but because like I'm trying even to think like top Switch sales. I know Sword and Shield was up there for a while, but I don't think it was like top. Pokemon prints money. That's why it's so important. Yeah, I don't know. You're right. I just think, I mean, it ultimately all comes back to what we're saying. How has helped make Smash and Kirby, and they've done a couple really cool mobile games. See, but like the Pokemon games are not in the top sold for the Switch. You know what I mean? Like Akib, you like across the world and across like mediums, I'd say yeah, like absolutely between. Look it up, Steven. Because if I remember correctly, Animal Crossing actually. I'm pretty sure it was a huge deal that Animal Crossing overtook Mario Kart. I think last I heard, and it's been a while, but the top like Switch selling games are Animal Crossing at the top, Mario Kart under that, and I get a little fuzzy on like what comes after that, but I'm pretty sure it's number 5. So, which I mean that's number 5, you know? So, I don't know. Okay, maybe it is higher. I'm just saying it's not the number 1. You know what I mean? Animal Crossing was the number 1, right? Is that right, Steven? 3 of their top 10 are Pokemon. So, yeah, that's true. That's true. What are the other ones? Like, just give me the full list. What are the top 10 games that have sold on Switch? Mario Kart 8 is 1, Animal Crossing is 2. Yep. Smash is 3. Breath of the Wild 4. Yeah. But see, and I think even that right there, like that top 5, 6, 7. Okay. Wow. Super Mario Party is 7? That's kind of surprising to me. So, like, see, right there, 3 are Mario games, right? So it's just like, Mario and Pokemon. That's the big ones. But I don't know. Maybe it's better than I thought, but I still think regardless, I don't think Nintendo really steps in and like tells Pokemon what they have to do. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Comparable of importance, but I still don't think Nintendo walks over to Pokemon Company and is like, "Hey, we really need y'all to step it up on these games and whatnot." But I don't know. I feel like they're slowly uh, iterating. Right? We had the wild area in Sword and Shield. They really kind of took that concept, and I think Arceus was more of a testing ground than anything for like, okay, what would it look like if we did go all out with this idea? And now I think we're getting the first mainline game, which hopefully will have a little bit more focus and time spent on it and be, slightly better. But and I think that's really what it is they're making such small iterative adjustments every 2-3 years. Whereas if they would just take 6 years, it would we'd probably ultimately only get the amount of iteration that happened between a couple jumps in games. I would like to think it would be more than that, but just it would, there'd be less time in between. By the way, 1UP Studios, which is part of that office, is a subsidiary that is literally meant to support Nintendo development. There you go. And see, like, I wonder, I don't know, Steven. I don't know. You're coming at me. Stop attacking me. Stop hurting me. I don't know, Steven. I don't know why they don't do it. It's crazy. I don't know why they don't get help. I don't know why they don't take more time, but I wish they would. Arceus is number 12. That's pretty cool. All right, well, I take that back. That's just me being wrong, straight up wrong there. Like, that's the Pokemon games are doing a lot better than I thought they were. I'm saying all this from a positive place. If Game Freak is in that space now, then they should be getting extra development. So I'm sorry. I guess I misread that earlier. You're saying now they share that space, but they. Okay. Yeah. So, and I guess that's the question, right? Is you're saying now that they're in that space, they should be getting more support. So why does Scarlet Violet not seem like a bigger jump than it is? Is that kind of what you're saying? Because I'm catching on to kind of what you're saying, if that's kind of your point there, because, and I think I would agree that there's not a ton of difference, but it is exciting that we are having a mainline Pokemon game that is going to be completely open world, run around just like this, just like Arceus is. Like, sure, maybe not a huge move, but like, that's a pretty big jump from just the one wild area to, hey, now the whole game is this way. That's still a pretty big jump. And while, yes, it still doesn't really change the game as much when you're talking about like, hey, let's update how the battles work and that sort of thing. I think that's gonna have to come with time as we go. I'm saying that maybe it is that bigger jump because they've had 2 years to up the development power. Maybe, maybe Scarlet Violet will have a bigger jump than it looks like now. long was Arceus cooking up? I remember Arceus seemed like such a left field, like kind of surprise, you know what I mean? Obviously we had the wild area, so we knew that they were kind of thinking about, hey, let's experiment with what's going on here. But I really like it. I like, again, to me, this is like the tester. Okay, let's give them what they wanted, what they've been asking for, open world Pokemon, and see how they like it. They love it? Well, let's do it. Like, let's go all the way. Oh my lord. We got a daggone starfish up in here. I don't know what that was supposed to do. All right, this is some sort of water type, right? I'm gonna regret not having an electric type right now. Okay, what's up? Do I need to? Okay, I have to touch the water to engage the fight. I'm gonna beat this guy. I'm gonna talk to whatever the Pokemon is that comes in after, and then I'm going to jump over to Let's Go Eevee for just a second, because I do want to just look at what that game looks like compared to this. Which game would you say was more of an undertaking between Sword and Shield and Arceus? This isn't a trick question. This is a genuine opinion. Okay. I'm just going to go with my gut here, Steven. Genuine opinion, I think it would have been Sword and Shield, took longer, had more development time. That's my final answer. That seems right. I'm a little worried, since you're asking, that you're going to say, actually, Arceus took like 3 years to make, opposed to Sword and Shield's 2 years, which would be very interesting. That would be very interesting to come to find out. It's gonna blow my Eevee up. Which one do you think? Which one do I think came out as a more developed product? I really feel like Steven is leading me to some sort of big shocking reveal here. I would say, Steven, to answer the question, which one was more developed, I would say Sword and Shield. But I mean, honestly, it's probably... Yeah, no, I'm just gonna lock in that answer. Oh, I know. It's just, I know it's not a trick question. It's just a genuine opinion. But it just, I'm nervous because it's like, obviously this is an interest. Well, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't as interesting. You're just genuinely curious what I would say. But yeah, that's what I'm sitting with. Is I would say Sword and Shield had to have taken longer, and I do think it came out. Maybe the way the word it would be slightly more developed than Arceus. So the suspense is killing me, though. Well, I never played Sword and Shield, so what about it makes you think it took longer than Arceus? It being a mainline game, it having more towns, gyms, probably more, like, not cutscenes, but like, you know, like what is being considered cutscenes, right? Again, that was them moving from 3DS to the Switch for the first time. So a lot of asset development was being done. The same assets that are probably in this game, right? So if anything, Sword and Shield saved them time on Arceus, I would think. You're asking why. Okay, first you asked why longer. Okay, I was making sure. I was like, did I just misread the question? I think I'm going off of memory from probably 2019, right? But I feel like the models looked ever so slightly better in Sword and Shield. You had the you had the camping cookout mechanic. You had the raid battles. There's just why did it take longer? There's just more in that game than there is in this one. You know, this one you can roam in an open area, catch Pokemon with ease, which is a new thing to be sure, right? And then the battle system is kind of new, but whatever. So, yeah, that would be my gut reaction, but I don't know. Oh, shoot. Oh, great. It seems... Okay. Will you abandon this folly? Don't give up. Keep trying to hit it. Okay. I was just about to say, it must appear in the same spots. Where... So, I would have assumed, Steven, and it kind of was assuming, that you posed that question because Sword and Shield, I know, took 2 years to develop, and you went to look and see how many years it took for Arceus, how many years Arceus was in development. And when you came back and were like, which game would you say was more than an undertaking? I feel like, Nightakib, I feel like the obvious answer is that Arceus should have been, that Arceus should have taken less time and was less developed, had less development time. So when you pose the question, right, without just getting an answer, that's kind of, I assumed that, oh, shoot, maybe it took longer. So I'm kind of expecting you to say Arceus has been in development for at least 2 years, if not 3. So... Everything I'm seeing, which I can't really get a straight answer, Arceus was made in about 2 years. Okay, yeah. So, Sword and Shield was in 2019, right? So basically, once they finished Sword and Shield, and probably, I'd imagine, had good reception to it, especially the wild area, they probably went from there and started to shift. I get the impression that it had a significant development shift about halfway through or at some point. Yeah. See, I wonder if what I kind of imagine happening is that I don't know what I'm missing with this guy. Maybe I'm not reading into what he's saying well enough, but I wonder if Sword and Shield came out, they kind of knew they wanted to do Arceus, so they started development. And then as they received feedback on that, they decided to switch to, hey, let's just go full, like, let's do everything's a wild area, and let's try that. and as a testing ground, not only for the consumers, but also probably for them too, like to make sure they could handle it, you know. Give up, you struggle in vain. Will you press on? Yes. I don't know if this is like a test of struggle or what. Okay, cool. It probably was a test of struggle. That was great. I've earned the determined. Peace. All right. We got everything, gang. All right, I'm going to run back out here. I'm going to jump. But anyway, when do you want to start the next FC? Whenever you want to do it. Whenever you want to start it. I'll be honest with you. I need to produce it before October. Because I have 3 back-to-back weddings in October. And that is probably going to ride me out until, well, because then I have one in November and then one in December. And between those 3 and then, like, I might have time again in December. So I plan to have everything in your hands by the first week of September. Okay, cool. Well, then, yeah, that should be fine. And then as long as there's not a specific deadline we're trying to hit, because Outriders kind of caught me off guard because it was like, hey, sorry, you kind of need, we kind of want to post it by the end of this week or whatever. So that kind of caught me off guard and made me move a little bit faster. So if I could have a little bit more flexibility on that, that would be great. And then the one weekend you don't have in October, I'll be out of town. Yes, so I'm very busy that month. The first time I played the game was about 14 hours, so I could finish the playthrough in a couple weeks. Sure, yeah, that sounds good to me. Are you gonna do a Chortle army for this? Is that a thing that could be done? Because it might even be worth, like, you should probably announce that in the Discord now and start calling for an army. If you can / want to do that. It may not be worth it, but it's less Chortle army and more like Chortle squad. Okay, I got you. Well, in that case, do whatever you want. Okay, good plan. Well, yeah, I think that's a good plan, Steven. I think that could easily be done. So, bum bum bum. A wild Pokemon has appeared. They're gonna make my shiny ribbon.